Hey y'all, Pawpaw here. All right, this was a job I wasn't expecting to have to do. Goatee's looking a little weird, out of control. But it's a video. Let me show you what I got going on. All right, this is a Ryobi, 2300 starting watts, 1800 running watts. It's a gen control generator. Bluetooth, USB outlets, 120 volt outlets. You can put a parallel kit on it. All right, nice little generator. We've had it running. All right, it's a good running generator. It was a good running generator. Belongs to my daddy. He bought it from the Goodwill. Got a real good deal on it. I guess somebody bought it around the hurricane, used it, didn't need it no more. People with money do that kind of things. Gave it to the Goodwill. So I went and looked at it for him, started it up, ran it, run real good. We ran it for about a half hour, 45 minutes, make sure everything was good on it. And it was. Well, that's been several months ago. I've got a project coming up, and if y'all stay tuned and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know, then you'll see what the new project is that I'm going to need a generator for. This one might be a little bigger than what I need, but it's a starting point to see. So got it over here to the house last night, pulled it out of the truck this morning, went to start it up, wouldn't start. I was thinking, all right, well, the plug's fouled out. It's not the plug. Plug's good. Started draining some of the gas out of it. Could tap the carburetor bowl a little bit, shut it off, or quit draining the gas. She'd fire right up. Then she'd go dead. So we got something going on in the fuel line, the fuel tank, or the carburetor. I'm thinking it's the carburetor. Maybe some buildup just from sitting, because this gas that we run nowadays, here's some of the gas I pulled out of it. You see that pretty orange color? That's old gas. Well, this gas that we run with that ethanol in it, ethanol is derived from corn. It don't last long. 6 months top, if you get that long out of it, depending on the weather conditions, the heat, where you're at. So let me set y'all up. I'm gonna put y'all on my chest camera. See, chest camera, sexy chest, sexy camera. So here we are back over here. Sorry, didn't mean to make you dizzy. So let's open this thing up. I'll set this camera up so I can keep the microphone going. That way y'all can hear me good. I'll get footage on this camera. Maybe the chest camera will give us some good shots. And let's see what happens. One thing that I do like about this for transportation purposes, got two handles here to pick it up, one handle up top to pick it up. You flip it up, push this little button here, and you have a handle. You have a rolling suitcase now, therefore a suitcase generator. But let's open this thing up real quick. Finish getting this gas drained out of it. I'm sorry about the shadows. Now this is a 4-cycle engine. There's no need to mix oil in with the gas. All right, we got our cover off. And there is our little engine. So, all right. Since we will probably not be reusing this gas, just going to drain it into a solo cup. I have to forgive my tools having some rust on them. Seems to happen when you don't take care of your stuff. All right, see, this is what lets me know that something is wrong in the carburetor. Starts flowing fine, and then it stops. Nothing else is coming out. Tap the carburetor, nothing coming out. So let's shut it up. There is still gas in the can, or in the tank, but it is not coming out. So we're going to go down here, break the bolt on the bottom of the bowl loose, lose our wrench. It's real fun working in these little places. All right. Bolt goes up through the bowl into the carburetor to hold the bowl on. So let's take this bolt off the rest of the way. See if we can get this bowl off. See, just a little bitty old bolt. One reason I can tell you that there's buildup in it is that trash that come off the top of that bolt. Can y'all see in there? That's what happens when this gas starts breaking down. So I am pretty certain that we're going to have to pull this carburetor off. The only downside to that, there's one of your nuts, there's your other nut, literally touching your intake. All right, we're going to pull this filter out. That's not a 10 millimeter, that's an 8. All right, in order to take this off, you got to pull that 8, pull that 8. But you still got to deal with this pipe. It's rubber, so it will flex a little bit. I'm back. Got my 8. One bolt. Two bolt. Long one goes inside. Now this should just pop out. If you have to, get your screwdriver up in there. And pull it out. It's another way to tell these have been sitting for a little while. And somebody's had this one off before. So to be as new as it is, kind of surprised. They don't try and make this mess easy to work on. See if I can do this with a wrench, or if I'm going to have to. Yep, I'm going to have to get a socket. We had some tornadoes come through here yesterday. My place wasn't touched, but there's a lot of places that were pretty much destroyed. There we go. Get it loosened up, you can pull your ratchet off and just use your socket to spin it with your fingers. All right, there's number 2. We pulled that nut off and that nut off. Now we can just pull that off. Set it off to the side. Which in turn should release your carburetor. You work it around and get it out of there. Yep, there's been a screwdriver on that choke. All right. Got that loose. There's the bracket. And the screw is laying down there somewhere. We'll get it out here in a minute. All right, this shouldn't be hard. You can hold the wire and get it to turn with your screwdriver. Do not lose this spring. It goes all the way down in there where it plugs up at. But we're not going to worry about unplugging it. We're going to take it loose from the carburetor. This is so I'm going to reach in here and pinch this clip. Now these fuel lines sometimes have a tendency to stick. If you'll just take your pliers and spin it a little bit, starting to get a little bit more gas leaking out. It's not a real good idea to use a solo cup to drain gas into. As long as you don't leave it for a long time, it's fine. What I like to do is pull the pin, take the float and the needle valve out, which they all look good. But there's all kinds of trash up there in that main jet. So there's trash and build up in there. There's trash and build up in this jet. Looky there, looky there. Can't even see through it. And don't do that and lose it. All right, I'm gonna have to go get my tools. All right, these, you can see them, are for cleaning out carb jets, spray guns, and I think every one of them is too big for this. That's the smallest one. And it's too big. Maybe not. But you can also use a tiny piece of wire, which we don't have to because it's clean. Yep, my screwdriver is too big to go, too wide to go down in there. So let's just do this number. All right, that jet is clean. So the other thing I advise Take your compressed air and blow it out real good. So that you know that it is all clean. Good news, all the jets are clean. It was just that one that seemed to be causing us a problem. Now when you put these in, you want them snug. You don't want them breaking off tight. All right. I'm going to take our clip and our pliers, our hose clamp. We're going to put it back on. We're going to put our reconnect our fuel line. Sorry if y'all can't see. Bring your hose clamp back on. Then we're going to take our idler. All right, so we put that back on. Put your screw in. Put your screw in. Make sure you ain't got your wires routed the wrong way, or else nothing will fit back like it's supposed to. All right, we got all that back together. Put your spring back on your choke cable. Stick it back through there. Find where it's crimped so that you know you're putting it back in the right place. You can always readjust it later. Okay. Oh, I should have put the bowl back on too. See there? Don't get in no hurry. Whenever you're doing stuff like this, do it right, do it once. Put her float back in. Make sure you clean all that residue out of that float or out of that bowl, or else you're just going to end up with stopped up jets all over again. Now your float bolt for your float bowl does not have to be super tight, just good and snug. Now, whenever you put these on here, all you want to catch is that metal piece right there at the end of that sheeting. That's together. All right, got the carburetor slid back on. Now we're going to take our air intake tube, going to fit it on. We'll start this nut on this side. We'll take this other nut, put it in the end of our socket, and we'll drop it. The reason you only start it is so it won't come back off. You can still move that tube around to get access to that other stud. Now, when you're messing with the generator, be careful. Some of these electrical components in there are very sensitive, and a lot of them store, or some of them store a lot of power. If you short one of them out, you can mess up your generator, you can mess yourself up. Done it a time or two. And when you electrocute yourself, if you don't end up in the hospital, 90% of the time, you taste metal for a while. You can ask my wife. An old house we used to live in was always having issues with the outlets. And I was stubborn and didn't want to shut off the power to switch out a plug or light fixture. And I tasted metal a lot. All right, now we're going to take our breather box. We're going to put it back in here. You want to angle it so that you can start it. Get your screwdriver and just work that back up in there. If you have to, you can use a little WD-40 or motor oil to make it go a little bit better. But it's not a have to. Then you're going to take your bolts. Short bolt goes in the side. And these are 8s. Long bolt goes in the back. If I was smart, would have brought the gas can around here so I could put fresh gas in it. Because I know there's not enough gas in it to start it. It's not even coming out. All right, now all we need is gas. So I'm gonna show y'all my superpowers. I can teleport. Ta-da! I'm back with the gas can. Move y'all back just a little bit. Get this bottle of old gas. We will run this old gas back through it. Because it'll still burn. It's just not strong. And we're going to overfill it. So we might not be running old gas back through it right now. All right. Flip it over to cold start. Let it set for a minute. Just a minute. See, that's why you don't put gas in a solo cup. Let's open this valve up and make sure we got gas coming in. Fresh gas. All right. Let's see if she'll start. Nice and quiet. Thing. Got the auto idle turned on. Running good and quiet. Let's put her side case back on, side cover back on. Let this sit here and run just a minute. See, it's working on the auto idle on. It'll idle down real quiet. Everything works. I've tried to download the app for it to shut this thing off. It's just as simple as she's off. Should be warm. She's running again. There it is off. All right, so we got the generator running again. That's what we do. If it don't work, we fix it. If it does work, we tear it up, then we fix it. And if it's not tore up, we're lost. We don't know what to do. We use it till it does tear up. That's what we got to do. So, generator's running. Y'all stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button. Click that notification bell. That way you'll know. By the end of the week, I promise you, you will know why I've got the generator. You will know what our next project is. And the deadline I have to get the project done, which is not long. So stay tuned. Y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next time.